Being open about her mental health struggles, working with her musical idol, and focusing on her passion outside of music. There's so much about Willow Smith many don't know. Keep watching to find out. There's no denying that Will and Jada Pinkett Smith have an insanely glamorous life and that they have hundreds of millions of dollars to spend however they please. But there are consequences to such a lifestyle, including an undue amount of attention on their children. As Willow Smith explained during a 2017 interview with Girl Gaze, growing up and trying to figure out your life while people feel like they have some sort of entitlement to know what's going on is absolutely excruciatingly terrible. The only way to get over it is to go into it. You can't change your face, you can't change your parents. Rather than move into a secluded cabin in the woods, Smith has taken her fame in stride, but she recognizes that not all of her peers have made it through so easily. As she put it, "I feel like most kids like me end up going down a spiral of depression, and the world is sitting there looking at them through their phones, laughing and making jokes and making memes at the crippling effect that this lifestyle has on the psyche." After Willow's release in 2010 of her first single, Whip My Hair, she was suddenly thrust into the spotlight in a bigger way than ever before, which proved to be quite overwhelming. So overwhelming, in fact, that she ended up shaving her head while on tour just so she could go home. As she recalled to Vulture in 2017, "That's so insane. That was a crazy night. I remember it. I was very nervous because I was like, dang, am I gonna miss my hair?"
Your life looks like a dream life. Is it?
It's a lot of work.
At the time, Smith was only 10 years old, so it's not difficult to understand that everything had gotten to be too much for her to handle. Nevertheless, one thing is for sure, she made a statement with the haircut, even though she at first wondered if she'd regret it, as she noted. "But then I didn't care. I really could not have cared less. That was such a transformational point for me." Willow is also keenly aware of the issues that come with a black woman wearing her hair naturally, and that's why she wears her own with great pride. As she revealed to The Cut in 2018, "We're best friends. I love my locks and they love me. I'm just really calm about it now. When I had my hair out and not in locks, it was such a hassle every single day trying to do whatever to it." The stress that came with commercial success at such a young age was too much to handle for Willow Smith, especially considering that she was struggling with her mental health at the time. Alas, she turned to some unhealthy coping mechanisms in an effort to deal with the pain, as she explained on an episode of Red Table Talk. "After the tour and the promotion and all of that, it was like they wanted me to finish my album, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that."
I was just like plunged into this like black hole, and I was like cutting myself.
What?
For the most part, Willow doesn't enjoy talking about that dark time in her life, although she also noted,
Totally lost my sanity for a moment there.
She added, "I honestly felt like I was experiencing so much emotional pain, but my physical circumstances weren't reflecting that." Fortunately, Willow was ultimately able to stop self-harming and heal both physically and emotionally from the whole experience. Willow Smith may be a rocker chick with over 10 million followers on Instagram nowadays, but her taste in music didn't exactly make her the popular girl at school. In fact, she was even bullied for listening to rock bands like My Chemical Romance and Paramore. As she told V Magazine in 2021, "I just hope that the black girls who are listening to my music see that there's more of us out there. It's a real thing. You're not alone. You're not the only black girl who wishes she could flip her hair to the side and wear black eyeliner, you know what I mean?" Smith's role model growing up was her mom, who was actually the founder and lead singer of the new metal band Wicked Wisdom, as she explained on an episode of Red Table Talk.
This is the music that I grew up around. My mother was Superwoman. She was a rock star. She was a warrior and a nurturer.
Willow is dating fellow musician Tyler Cole, but just because she has a boyfriend, don't assume that she's heterosexual or monogamous. In fact, she's been very open about the fact that she's both bisexual and polyamorous. As she explained on an episode of Red Table Talk, "I love men and women equally, and so I would definitely want one man, one woman." It's not about just the physical intimacy for Willow, as she's not constantly on the prowl for new experiences in the bedroom. Instead, it's more about her inner life and what feels right for her personally. As she put it, "I focus a lot on the emotional connection. I feel like if I were to find two people of different genders that I really connected with, and we had a romantic and sexual connection, I don't feel like I would feel the need to try to go find more."
Personally, male and female, that's all I need.
Well, there it is.
If you've ever seen any photographs of Willow Smith, there's a good chance that she was with her brother, Jaden. And there's a good reason for that, as they're about as close as siblings can be. As she explained to Teen Vogue in 2016, "We're like binary stars, like two parts of one thing. I know what he's thinking at all times, and he knows what I'm thinking. We're not identical twins, but it feels like that in a lot of ways." Willow credits her parents for her tight bond with her brother. They were raised very freely and were never pressured to spend time together, but they still found their ways to connect. As she put it to Interview magazine in 2016, "Not a lot of siblings have that opportunity because they're always being pushed together so much. They need their time apart in order to realize themselves and realize who they are." Thanks in large part to her music career, Willow Smith is worth millions and millions of dollars. But just because she's financially well off, that doesn't mean she's not interested in eventually pursuing higher education. In fact, there are a lot of scholarly subjects that she's curious about. It's no secret that she's an avid reader and that she's quite the deep thinker as well. To that end, she dreams of one day attending the Massachusetts Institute of Technology to study her intellectual passions. As she proclaimed to Vulture in 2017, "I know that at one point in my life I'm going to go to college for both music and physics. I'm gonna need to block out time in my life." As for exactly when that will happen, it's unclear at the moment. For now, Willow is occupied with her first love for the foreseeable future. As she put it, "Right now, I'm going ham on my music, and I really need to focus on this. I think after I put out another album or something, I'm gonna block out a couple years of my life to put all of my energy into learning physics." Willow Smith may be young, but that doesn't mean she's not woke. She's well aware of social issues like feminism, as she understands the need for women to realize that we're all in this together. She's also hip to the fact that feminism itself has some work to do, as it's historically excluded women of color. As she noted to Harper's Bazaar in 2019, "It's complicated because I support the womanist movement, the feminist movement, any movement that's supporting women, but it really hurts my heart that there was this chasm between white women and black women, and that it's still happening even in the feminist movement today." Willow used to think the burden of educating white women was on black women, but after some in-depth conversations with the other black women in her life, she now realizes that's not the case. As she explained, "Black women are in such a unique position, especially right now. We've always been in the unique position, but especially right now in the political climate. We really need to do this work because at the end of the day, what is more important?"
We use the word feminism. A lot of people misconstrued it to mean that it's only for women, when it's for everybody.
Willow Smith is known for her super unique sense of fashion, which she's been cultivating for a long time. It's not superficial in the least, as she views fashion as a form of art. As she admitted to Teen Vogue in 2016, "I have some cool shoes on and I wear crazy eyeliner, but it's really all about emulating the colors you feel inside. A lot of clothes are cute, but after you buy the Yeezy shoes after you get your hair done with a weave, you're still the same person." I feel like more and more kids are starting to realize this.
It's really just a chain reaction of inspiration and positivity that can happen on such a wide scale.
That emphasis on individuality doesn't mean that Willow isn't delighted to be a part of the fashion industry, though. Far from it, in fact. As she also noted, "Being a young African-American woman with dreads, it blows my mind that I'm a Chanel ambassador. Like, how am I a Chanel ambassador? It is so beautiful." Willow Smith's musical idol just happens to be one of her biggest fans. Producer and Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker was so blown away by Willow's musical talent when he worked with her on her 2021 album Lately I Feel Everything. He contributed to a few of the songs on the album, including the single Transparent Soul. As he admitted to Rolling Stone, "I was so impressed. I was like, this is what she should have been doing all along because it sounds so natural. It sounds like who you are every time I've met you or I've been around you. Then when I got into the studio and added some stuff to it, had an idea for a bridge or whatever, it turned out to be a song I was really proud of." In that same interview, Willow confessed that she was surprised that Barker would want to work with her on any music project. As she put it, "I didn't even think for a second that you were going to be on Transparent Soul. That was kind of like a far-fetched fever dream for me." Clearly, this turned out to be a harmonious partnership, and we love to see it. Willow Smith clearly has quite the open mind, so it should come as no surprise that she's a believer in alien life forms. In a 2021 interview with Glamour, she touched on numerous topics, including mental health and cultural stereotypes. Willow is the brand ambassador for Mugler's Alien Goddess fragrance, which prompted Glamour to ask her if she believes in the existence of extraterrestrials, to which she replied, 100%. Come on, the universe is infinite, and we know this scientifically. There is no way that there's not infinite amounts of species out there doing their thing, kicking it around and wondering the same question, whether there's some other people out there. And in an interview with Allure, Willow confessed that what led to her partnership with Mugler was what it represented. As she put it, "I've always been into everything and anything extraterrestrial. I've also been into goddesses throughout history, mythology, and religion, representations of the divine feminine. Bringing those two things together, it just felt so perfect for me." If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, please contact the crisis text line by texting HOME to 741-741. Call the National Alliance on Mental Illness helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI 6264 or visit the National Institute of Mental Health website.